a Love is Blind contestant on the latest season on Netflix is getting dragged right now online because a clip from the show where she leaves her fiance at the altar is going viral. She basically said in this clip, she's in love with this man. This is her dream man. They get along so well. They just click. Everything is right. But, there's a big but, he does not agree with her politically on issues such as BLM, vaccines, and LGBT issues. So because he just doesn't care about her woke beliefs, she decided to throw away their relationship.
It's important to say doesn't care. Like,
yes.
He's not the opposite of her. He just doesn't care.
Unless he is lying, because I know there are a lot of men out there who put moderate on their dating profiles, or they just don't talk about their real political views out of fear that women will backlash. Mm-hmm. And that may be the case here. From what I could tell, though, this guy is just run-of-the-mill, apolitical, doesn't care about these things. That means he's probably more well-adjusted than her.
Well, yeah, that's you're probably a lot better off. Like,
so
I would argue that he's probably happier.
I bet, yeah. So you.
I mean,
can
then again, he's on
here,
Love is Blind, so maybe not.
Sarah Carton left her fiance, Ben Mazenga, stranded at the altar over his lack of interest in Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ issues, and the COVID vaccine, as well as for his church being too traditional in her view. So let's take a look and react to this.
The first question I have is like, what about like other causes? Like, does it matter if he doesn't care about like AAPI
or like climate?
Like, is it only this specific cause?
It's a package deal for her, I think.
Okay,
those things are just a sign of what's to come.
Here, let's watch this video. We are going to get copyrighted, but we'll pause as we go.
Yeah. Actually, we should pause. Just pause here. I just need to explain because not everyone watches trashy dating reality TV shows like I do. So if you don't know what Love is Blind is, they set people up in pods where you're matching with other contestants through a screen. You cannot see them. You can only talk to them. And you have to decide which one you want to marry before you see them face to face. Then there's this big reveal. You guys get to see each other for the first time. And that's the moment when the man usually proposes to the woman. And you can see, like, sometimes they're not really into it. As soon as they see someone in person, they're not into it anymore. But a lot of the time, it does actually seem to work out.
I mean, I don't know.
These two took the plunge. They dated in the pods, saw each other for the first time, went all the way ahead to saying I love yous, and now they're about to get married. And this is how they do it at the show. Some people just chicken out at the last minute, and that's what Sarah does in this clip.
Do you think like a lot of times they wait and they finally see what they look like and they breathe a big sigh of relief when they look normal?
Oh, yeah. I've seen that too. But most of the time, it's that both of them are like, you're not really my type. I want out of this.
All right, here we go.
Be on the same wavelength.
He looks so harmless, too. They have all of their family members.
Everybody made the most comical face you've ever seen.
I'm sorry, but I don't want that to be misunderstood. I still love you, and everything about you is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Except for like 3 things, therefore we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I care about you so much.
I care about you too. And I love you so much. And I know I want to stay with you and keep growing our relationship if you'll let me.
We'll see. We'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay. I love you.
We'll see.
I know that.
Like, what does that even mean in that situation?
Like either break up or don't.
Like, at this point, it's over.
It is over.
Like,
it should be over. He should, if he had any self-respect, he would tell her, okay, fine. We're putting this to rest. Like
maybe in a movie, there's a version of this where a bunch of stuff conspires to stop the wedding in its first iteration, and then they end up together at the end of the movie. But this ain't the movies.
I think that he might be saying he wants to continue growing their relationship because he doesn't know her reasoning yet. Mm-hmm. Then it comes out behind the scenes here.
The connection we have is so real. and my heart is there. But we talked about a lot of the values that I hold so close to my heart. Making this decision, my mind is telling me I can't.
And then this is the dramatic exit. She starts running out.
Are you okay?
You should ask him, not her.
See me in the back. See me in the back. Okay.
Like she's doing something between laughing and crying right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm fine. I'm fine. Get me out of here. No. You guys, really, I'm okay. I don't know. I feel kind of numb. Do you? Oh yeah. Because it's sad. Like, I was really excited about Ben. And I'm like, he's such a great person. I just like...
Then what's the problem? Like you got the dress and everything.
I made the right decision.
Hi guys.
Oh my goodness.
Love you guys.
So this is the funeral for his
It was a lot,
ego
but
right now.
We're rolling with it. I just want to talk to her. Yeah.
Was it like the time frame?
I mean, I knew the whole time coming into this, the time frame, like, that's not... Like, I feel like I know him. Like, really.
Yeah.
Like, I remember... Like, I asked him about, like, Black Lives Matter, and I'm no expert. But, like, when I asked him about it, he was like, I guess I've never really thought too much about it. That affected me, especially in our own city. Like, how could it not? How did it not make you think about something? I asked him, too, like, what his church's views are, and he said he didn't know. And so then I watched a sermon online
From his church.
about, sexual identity.
Okay.
And it was traditional. I
Oh,
told
no.
that to Ben. And his thoughts on it. He doesn't really have much to say about it, you know? I want him to think about that stuff. Sometimes I did wonder if it was surface, fun, carefree love that we had. Equality, religion, the vaccine.
Yeah, so that was the last part. They're leaving it on a cliffhanger there. But yeah, she clearly asked him as well about his views on the COVID vaccine. That's also an issue that is near and dear to her heart because she is vaccinated. And I'm just kind of floored.
On its surface, I was about to agree with her. You shouldn't marry somebody who varies heavily from your views in life. But it's not like he was like, I'm anti any of those things.
Yeah, it's not like he was like, nah, like F BLM, I vote Trump, like you're crazy, whatever.
See, the best part is
he was just like, oh, I don't really know what I think about that.
The cooler part would be to find out that he has insane beliefs, but that's not what bothered him.
He just thinks that birds aren't real.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that either this guy is lying in saying that he has no opinions on these things, or he genuinely has no opinions on those issues. There are a lot of people who are genuinely apolitical.
There's a difference between not having opinions and not caring enough to share them with the world. Like some people just have...
But he didn't share them with her, who he's marrying.
I mean, I'm saying
true.
like some people might not want to share them with anyone. Like it's one of those things where it goes through your head, but not every thought needs to be put out into the world. And maybe what it is for a lot of people, and this is certainly true for me as much as it's possible in the space that I work, because it involves me having opinions about stuff. But it's like, unless I've been able to give something a certain amount of thought, I'm just not going to share my viewpoints with it. You know how many things I interact with or look at each day on X, and I just don't say anything because I have like a general formative thought, but not really enough to add much to the conversation. The only difference is for you and me, that would have to be some pretty niche or deep cut stuff because of what we do for work. For the average normie, that might be about general social political issues where it doesn't really matter. Maybe they've thought about it a little bit because they go to work and then they go to they live their lives and they see stuff on the news. They have their friends that talk to them about it, maybe in passing in a group of people, or they passively take information in, but they just haven't really given it much thought. Now, for her, maybe the better point is that she needs to marry somebody who feels as strongly about those issues as they do. But for most men, Like, I don't know if they're going to find men, if she's going to find a dude that she likes that's going to feel the same way as her and feel strongly about it. I think the best thing that she could hope for is that she's not going to want to date a dude who's staunchly conservative and opinionated, but maybe hoping for like a normal dude with no opinion whatsoever on this stuff is the closest thing she's going to get to an actual man.
Yeah, which is exactly what she found, and she discarded it in front of the world, and it also humiliated this guy. Like on TV and in front of his family and friends.
That's his own fault, though. He did go onto a reality dating show, so he bears some culpability in that.
Right, and these are all people who think that looks don't matter, which is stupid on its face. Like, that is so dumb. The entire premise of the show is
Olivia tells me
dumb.
that every day. She says, honey, looks don't matter.
No, the premise of the show is like that you can love someone without looking at them, and that is just, I think, totally delusional.
Serial killer in the chat says she didn't want to push over. No, I think that if he had staunch beliefs the other way, she would have left even quicker.
That encapsulates the dilemma that she is in and that a lot of leftist women are in, because they are women at the end of the day, and they want to date and marry men. Real, actual men who don't hate themselves, who don't self-flagellate.
I mean, I don't think she even knows
who act
this.
and think like men. And maybe they don't know that that's truly what they desire, but their actions speak louder than their words. So they're not able to be attracted to men who share their political and social views. Those woke men, for lack of a better term, are repulsive to them. So yeah, you're right. The best that she can hope to find is a normie guy like the one she found, who doesn't care about these things and isn't hostile to her views. Or even better, in my opinion, she could end up with a conservative guy who just kind of molds her to his worldview. But that's also asking a chore of someone else. So I don't blame anyone for that.
I don't know how many of those...
And she is right to be looking for someone that's aligned with her.
I don't know how many of those men that you just described are going to end up on a man that can mold her to his worldview is not going to be on this dating show.
No, because they're actually just like normal people who don't end up on Netflix. But yeah, I just think like she's kind of shooting herself in the foot here.
I mean, maybe he should have been like, the better thing would have been to do some questioning to her, be like, so what is it about these groups that matter so much to you, and make her answer a bunch of questions
really awkward,
that she may not, well, no, just not even awkward, that she just might not have actually thought so much about. Like, well, what is it that you care so much about Black Lives Matter? Okay, why do you care so much about this? What is it about? Ask her 5 questions and see how many of them she has actual answers for that aren't canned phrases.
None of them.
Yeah.
None of them, to be sure.
No, I mean, I haven't watched the show. For all I know, she's deep into, she works for the Innocence Project.
But keep in mind, though, this might be hard to believe, but it has been half a decade since 2020.
Yeah.
So it is about time that we can just move on from that anyway. Like, the fact that that's the first thing she brought up with him in terms of political worldview is like, what do you think of Black Lives Matter? That is absolutely unhinged. Like, why are you even thinking about that in 2025?
What's the guy's version of that? It's like, so what do you think about this?
Or like the pandemic.
Like, what do you think about the crypto rug pulls that are going on? Like,
she's living 5 years ago in her head. She has not caught up with the rest of society at all.
Well, what's the new cause du jour?
Probably, if we're being real, like what leftist women are concerned with now is like abortion.
I guess he's like, he hears all this. He's like, gosh, at least she's not complaining about Elon Musk.
Right. Yeah. I just think, you know, she is right to be looking for someone who is aligned with her. That is something everyone should aspire to do. But you are also looking for someone who is wrong about everything. So that sucks.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.